I recently redid my gaming setup and this is the end result. I already posted a room tour video on the channel where I shared specs and details on everything in my setup, but in this video I'm going to show you how I put it all together. You'll see that the setup build process doesn't always go as smoothly as you hope. Design concepts sometimes need to change as they become reality, or maybe you just spend 10 minutes searching for desk legs and storage only to realize they're already in use somewhere else. Stupid things like that. This video will walk you through my authentic setup building process, the epic wins and the fail tales. But if you trust your process like I do mine, you'll end up with an epic gaming setup of your own. Also, this video will be comprised of a mix of vlog style narration to show you my thought process when building a setup, and voiceover for clarification, specifics, and exposition. So without further ado, here's how I built my best gaming setup yet. The first thing I did was rip out this worm-toned LED ceiling fixture because the color temperature would just be terrible, and what's a gaming setup without RGB? My reasoning for doing this before anything else was, well, 1, so I don't have to work around a desk, and 2, to prevent any ceiling bits or dust from dirtying things up. So out with that sad thing, and in with this, an RGB ceiling light from Govee. This was 100% an unanticipated Prime Day splurge, but once I saw it on Amazon, I was like, hell yeah, this is perfect, and it's on sale, so in the cart it went. I still did my due diligence to confirm features and specs were what I was looking for and needed in the new setup. Like I still wanted the ability to change light to a bright and cool white for filming or photographing content, and have lots of control over RGB for setup themes and weekend gaming vibes. Some of those features of interest are Alexa and Google Home compatible, because who likes having to go into an app every time they want to make an adjustment to a light or even turn it on or off? Nope, I'm too lazy for that. I was impressed with their 2-color channel design, allowing you to set the main light to one color and the upper rim to another for some great color contrast. Also the fact that its white light can reach a brightness up to 2400 lumens, meaning when I want it to act as a proper ceiling light, it'll deliver. The fixture also has a very sleek, contemporary design that looks great in a gaming setup or even a living room or bedroom. For those of you wiring this up yourselves, all the necessary hardware and instructions come included. Now, because this light does require residential wiring know-how and I'm not an electrician, I didn't feel comfortable showing the wiring process. There are a ton of walkthrough videos online by electricians, or ask one of your friends who knows how to do it. For those of you that know how to safely wire up a ceiling fixture, instructions are included and they're incredibly easy and straightforward. The whole process only took me about 10 minutes, and here's the end result with the Govee ceiling light installed. It looks so much better. Syncing the ceiling light with the app is a breeze. Once in the app, press the plus sign in the top right. I let my Galaxy tab scan for nearby devices and it automatically found the light. Click add, wait for it to connect, then give it a name. After that, it will want to connect to your 2.4G Wi-Fi, so enter your credentials and press done. And that should be it. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why the light is flickering, I'm pretty sure it's because the light switch it's connected to is a dimmer, at the moment at least, and Govee say on their Amazon listing, not compatible with external dimmer switches and smart switches. So it looks like I'll be swapping out the switch very soon. And since I mentioned the 2 color channels, this is what I'm talking about. With that done, I'm moving on to reinstalling the wall mount for my 55-inch Samsung 4K TV. And again, I'm performing this task now, so I don't have to work over a desk. To install this TV, I'll need to get as close to this wall as possible, and the desk will just get in the way. Keep that in mind when performing any task like this. Not gonna lie, my past laziness totally paid off here because instead of filling in the old holes from when the TV was here before, I just covered them with some wall art and called it a day. So now all I gotta do is ratchet the heavy duty screws back into the studs. I think I owe myself a drink for that foresight. Oh god, here we go with an OSHA violation. My wife just left to run errands and I get impatient when building my setup, so ironically I put on some slippers for balance, you know, and gloves to securely grasp the TV. God, don't worry, I didn't drop it. And look, as someone that's 5'7" and only weighs 130 pounds, I was proud of myself. Hell yeah! Alright, Govee light's already up, the TV is up. That was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, now it's time to bring in the desk. There they are. And there's Happy. What's up, little dude? And there's my old PC case before I got the 011 Dynamic Evo. And the Xbox boxes, and some Animu figure boxes, some graphics card boxes. Fun things. Responsibly purchased things. And there are my old cosplay boots. I don't even know where's my cosplay box. You know, I've been planning this for about a week now. Got one leg in storage. I've been wondering where the hell are the other legs? Been in there for 5 minutes, looking around, moving crap around. They're here. I was gonna keep this table too. Now I can't. Oh well, guess that's coming down. All right, I got my legs. Ow, that was the knee. Oh my God, I got my legs. Oh, you. Anyway, yep, got those. Gonna be setting the desk up soon. I have my Alex drawers over there. What I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna take one of the Alex drawers, leave the other one. And I'm just gonna bring one of the Alex drawers over to this desk. I'm gonna have it on the desk over here, have like a corner leg, and I'm gonna set up 2 legs over here. That way I have direct access to the outlet and also that air exchange vent. At this point, I'm getting ready to set up the desk, so I lay one of the IKEA leg captain tops against the wall and push the IKEA Alex drawer in front of its furthest edge to get a better idea on final placement. Next, I attached just one of the Addles legs to this particular corner. For this build, the other leg needs to be attached in a special way. With the tripod attached, I can struggle to awkwardly lift the desk up and over the Alex drawer, where the right side will be secured with the bolts that came with the Alex drawer. This is my other 55-inch leg captain top. I'm attaching 2 legs to one side, which will serve as the left side of the desk. Alright, things are going to get a bit janky here, and as a disclaimer, I'm only showing you this because it's what I do and what I have done every time I've assembled this desk. That being said, I don't necessarily say it's the correct way, but it's what I do. Anyway, what I'm doing here is situating the leg mount halfway under one desk, and then it will rest halfway under the other desk. In my experience, it keeps the 2 desks connected so one doesn't wobble apart from the other and create a gap. Here it is from the top view, and like I said, that second desktop edge is going to lay right on top of the bracket and get 2 screws to hold it down. So far, we're looking flush and level. Now I'm going to add those 2 screws. I should have got a better drill bit. Alright, the desk is almost together, and I can start putting stuff on it again. Just gotta take care of one thing. I already put this leg on the back here for support, but I don't got anything here, which means, yeah, that's not good. That's not, here we go. That's not good. I've done this in other videos too. Every time I do it, I always say, this is what I do, but I don't recommend it. Here's what I do. I use one of these, and I actually have no idea what it's from, but I did find it in a downstairs utility drawer from the previous owners when I moved in a couple years ago. And I've been using this every single time I've built a desk like this. I mean, it's solid metal, it's hardcore, and it's been sturdy. It's always worked just fine. Okay, so setup builders, beware. This works for me, but for liability reasons, I don't recommend. In fact, I might try looking to fabricate an inconspicuous metal beam to stretch from one end of my desk to the other. I think that would be more secure. Anyway, for right now and for this one, since I already did it, I place a screw in each of the holes on the bracket for a total of 6 screws. And there we go. And it's pretty much flush, I don't even see it. And yep, nice and sturdy. And don't worry, because I don't even have my PC. I mean, like, where my PC is gonna go is in the back there, and the desk has 2 legs of support back here. It's not like the PC is gonna be resting on this. This is basically where I'm just gonna be like resting like my arms, like, you know, I'm gonna be gaming like over here. So this is mainly just support for like my elbows and stuff like that. With the desk assembled, I moved on to setting up the monitor arm, which is brand new to the gaming setup thanks to Mount It. They sent over their MI4881 heavy-duty single monitor arm. It has a futuristic black and white body, diffused RGB, cable channels, and it can support up to 49-inch monitors weighing 44 pounds, which will be perfect for my 34-inch Ultra gear, and even have strength to spare in case I ever go any larger. I've been really excited about this arm, so let's unbox and assemble. One thing I don't like about this monitor arm is the cable manager on the bottom arm doesn't securely hold cables. Instead, it has a gap down the length of the channel which allows thin cables like the power cord or an aux cable to drop out. But I've got a cheap fix for this issue, and it's these Alex Tech wire loom split sleeves. I got them off Amazon for under $10. Not only will these prevent the small cords from dropping out of the channel, but it will consolidate all the cords running to the monitor into one easily manageable strand. All you got to do is cut them down to size and stuff your cables into the sleeve. With the main monitor installed, it was time to set up the second monitor, and I thought this should be easy since I already had an idea in my head for it. But remember when I said in the intro, design concepts sometimes need to change as they become reality? Yeah, that became a pain in the ass experience as I didn't vibe with the first idea of having the monitor on its factory stand as much as I thought I would. So I pulled out my old Huanowo double monitor arm from storage and just removed one of the arms. I ended up liking the look on a monitor arm better than on the factory stand, but what would follow would still be attempt after attempt to position the monitor arm in the right place that it didn't stand out like a sore thumb. I actually moved it around so many times I gave up recording and was just like, you know what, here it is, like the next scene. Alright, monitors are finally done. It only took like 3 hours to figure out proper placement, and I did end up moving the second monitor around a couple times extra that I didn't even record because I just needed to figure it out. Yep. Sometimes the setup build just doesn't go as planned, and there's plenty more failed frustration to come, because we're moving on to RGB. After much deliberation involving staring at walls, I decided to mount my Glide 3D on the left wall, so I needed to raise this motivational print up the wall to make room. I also decided to display some keyboards on these floating shelves, and I'd use the 3D Glide for some illumination on them, so I set them up on the shelves to get a reference for their height. In this shot, you'll see some Glide segments on top of the shelves. This was a mock layout to confirm all the segments I intended for this wall would fit. Once I knew my plan, I attached some fresh 3M Velcro picture frame hangers on all the segments. Once I was ready to adhere the segments to the wall, I made sure to have my beam level ready, as I don't only use this for making sure all my segments are straight, but also to support multiple attached segments at a time, which really speeds up the installation process while still ensuring level accuracy. Next was my first design attempt for the lines. Obviously it didn't make it into the final setup, thank God, but I wanted to include it to show once again that ideas and concepts for your setup can change during the process. Also, I used a laser level to center the design with my main monitor, and I think it can be a helpful technique and tool for you to use for accuracy. Meanwhile, for all the flat lines, I used a small level beam to ensure their level accuracy. Oh, and I should clarify, these aren't Nanoleaf lines. They're actually an off-brand clone under the guise of several different brand names, but these are from Kobaiban. Also, the adhesive on the back of the connectors is super strong, and I spent the entire weekend before this project repairing this wall from previous tape and screw hole damage, so I was trying to be as careful as possible to get the placement right the first time. So this was the first design I came up with. Definitely makes the space feel much smaller. Still, lights themselves are bright and vibrant, and I'm impressed with how many lighting modes are installed. Meanwhile, to install the LIFX Beam, I moved my PC since it wasn't plugged in yet anyway, and I used a combination of the laser level and the level beam to install multiple connected segments at a time, as well as to verify the level against the laser. Finally, after much head scratching, I figured out a place for my hexagons, which ended up outlining my PC from the rear. I had already taken the hexagons down from the old setup, but I still needed to roll off the old adhesive from the wall mount brackets, which doesn't take much time or effort. With that done, it was time I applied some fresh adhesive, and this is what I use: Scotch double-sided foam tape. It's available in a roll or squares from any hardware store, Amazon, Target, and Walmart. When I have the roll, I cut off a small square and apply it to the center of the wall mount. Then, to adhere to the wall, I figure out where I want it, then use a small level beam to get it straight and for support. After hanging these, make sure to firmly press the panels to the wall for about 15 to 30 seconds to ensure they properly stick. And this is where things start to take a turn. As you can see, I fell out of love with these already, and that's because I made the design too symmetrical, which worked before, but then I added the hexagons here, and I realized I completely threw the wall off balance, so I kind of got to do a different design, and it's scaring the crap out of me trying to take these off the wall, though, damaging the wall, because I just repainted it and patched it. I can't do it. I can't afford to do that again, so this is stressful. All right. I'm using one of these plastic spatulas. Hopefully this will work. I mean, it has been, but, you know. Oh, thank God. I am so nervous right now. Like, my heart rate is up so high. Oh. There, but kind of bubbled away, but it's not peeled, thankfully. God. Of course there's gonna be one. Two. There's gonna be freaking two of them. Why wouldn't there be two? Hi, welcome back to my half-assed adventures. I did not want to deal with patching any holes, and I don't got time for that. I already spent last weekend doing that crap, not doing it again. So what I did is I just put the two pieces back up where they ripped the paint out. Then we don't have to deal with it, and they're covered up. Cool beans, right? And I guess I'm just working around those two pieces, and what ended up happening is I kind of got this hexagon design, which actually kind of works out because I think it complements well with all the hexagons over here. And I do think it's going to balance out the wall pretty well. So I got to figure out what I'm doing over here. I think this is going to be donezo. Got to figure this out, and then I'm going to be done. Thank God. Okay, well, done with this. Decisions. I'm torn on how to finish this since I have one piece left, but I'm not gonna lie, I like this design better than my last one. So I guess I'm kind of glad that threw off the balance of my wall, and I guess glad that these effed up my paint job. Anyway, this is gonna be pretty cool once I figure out how to end it. I made my decision. This is what I'm gonna do. All right, I did that because I remembered I still also have this light up here, and I thought that my old layout just really was unbalanced. Now that I've got this over here, plant RGB over there, TV. Now I've got more over here, monitor, this stuff. I think this helps balance it out. Yeah, okay, I definitely love this a lot. Yeah, I love this a lot more. I think I'm done with RGB. Finally, as if I don't have a frickin' enough, right? It's also like 1:30 a.m. I've been doing this for like 9 hours, pretty much just the RGB, and then like setting up the monitors. All that was like 9 or 10 hours. I've been doing this since 2:30. Oh my God. Anyway, so I'm wiped out. All right, we're back again for another night of trying to finish this freaking setup. I did make a couple changes to the lines. I don't even know what the brand is, but either way, I made a couple alterations to them. And I had these things in my closet, these panels, for so long, probably like 6 months or something like that. Never know what to do with them. And I figured, why not fit them in here, because they fit perfectly. So that is what I'm doing. I've had my last one I'm gonna be hanging up. I've just been using just some random pieces of what's left of double-sided tape, because I still have to do all my cable management, which also requires some double-sided tape. And this is all I have left. It's like 6 pieces worth. So I'm kind of SOL on that one. So I'm trying to just scavenge around for what little piece of tape I have. And this could be the last piece going up. I think it actually looks really freaking cool. Whoop, whoop. And it's not plugged in right now, so I can't really show you. Is it plugged in right now? Maybe it is. Actually, maybe it is. Nope. All right, now it's time for my least favorite part about building a gaming setup. Cable management. Frickin' hate it so much. Kind of started actually just over here really quick, since I have this last piece coming down, or like the cable coming down here. What I actually did was I'm running it behind my Govee cables, because there's actually, how the hexagons are set up, there's room to run cables through them. That's how these can drop down from like over here, or up here, wherever. And I think that's pretty cool. So I'm using that design that Govee did to actually just run that down and partially hide the cable. And then I've just got the controller right down here, which, these are supposed to be smart. They are smart. So I probably won't need it all the time, but just in case I do need it for something, I got my button right there. Anyway, time for the worst part. I'm trying to make this as streamlined as possible because I hate it so much. So I wrote down everything that I need an outlet for, because I'm gonna have 2 power supplies, 2 surge protectors basically. From past experience, past mistakes I made with other setups, I wanted to take into account all the power supplies and lengths of cords that go with them for each thing. And I know the cords for like some of my monitors aren't super long, and that definitely won't be reaching all the way over there. So that's why I'm gonna be setting up 1 power supply over here. And then this one's probably gonna be for like TV, a bunch of all the RGB over here, computer, etc., etc., etc. That's why I made this. That way I can write down everything I actually need. And then I can write down like R or L for right or left one. And then I already mocked up how I'm gonna be doing this. That way I know how they're gonna fit, to make sure that everything will fit. Because a lot of these power supplies are bulky as hell. And they take up like 1.5 spots. So like everything around them doesn't usually fit on some of these surge protectors. Sucks. This one kind of has this problem. Up on the top here, these ones are spaced out more, but the ones on the bottom here, those are not spaced out, which is why I bought this one from Tron. I got it from Amazon. I can post a link down in the description. And this one, every single plug is spaced out. So I can fit so much stuff right next to each other. And there's even a middle row too, which is super convenient. I love this one so much, I even bought one for my wife's setup. Also, this one has like screw holes on the corner. So this one I can actually mount to my desk with little screws, whereas this other one, I'm gonna have to use double-sided tape, which I'm running low on. All right, I got 5 pieces of double-sided tape on here. 2 of them are slightly used from my desk, my old desk. But anyway, we're gonna see if these hold. So I'm not putting it too far back, just in case I put a raceway back there, or, oh crap, you're not gonna stick, are you? You suck. stay in for now. I'll go get more tape in a couple days and redo it. Yeah, I know, it's a mess. Anyway, this is what I call the devil's tape. I call it that because, well, every time I've used it, it's like destroyed a wall. So I try not to use it anymore because I'm tired of patching walls. But anyway, I'm gonna be using it on this because it's just going to the underside of my desk. And you know, if I kind of hack a bit too much with my little spatula, this thing, it's whatever. It's on a wall, I've gotta patch it. So I'm just gonna use a little dabble of it just so I don't have to waste any more of my precious foam tape. All right, so my main outlet is over there and my power supply is over here. So like the thick cable for the power supply itself, yeah, that needs to go in here, along with everything else that shoots all the way across. So I'm gonna be putting this right around here. I'm not putting it all the way like back, and I've learned this because anytime I try and attach something to my desk with any of these like clamps or something, I never have room for them. So I've kind of learned to try and push these more forward. That way there's room for clamps or whatever else you might want to attach to your desk. Oh yeah, that's gonna be on there forever. Until I break the curse of the devil's tape. All right, cable management is done. And once again, it is 2:30 in the morning of like the 4th or 5th day. And I'm just gonna show you this really quick. That way I'm pretty much done except for setting up the Cable Raceways for my TV power. Anyway, so I use a combination of an IKEA basket over on this end. I'm just gonna go right underneath, might get a little bit echoey, sorry about that. But anyway, so over here, under my computer and whatnot, PC's right over here. Got one power supply here. And this is just held up with some double-sided tape that I found in one of my drawers in the utility room. Anyway, all of those cables are gonna be held up right over here for the most part. Some of them I do have wrapped around here to hold them up, and then others I just kind of have wrapped around other cables using, like I'm using the stiffer one here, the PC power cable, I'm using that since it's so rigid. I'm using that to hold up some other cables and whatnot. Same with the cord for the actual surge protector. It's pretty stiff. At least it's, yeah, stiffer than the other one. So I'm using that mainly to hold up other cables, like the lighter ones and whatnot. Here I have one of these Raceways just stuffed, about to burst with cables that I'm bringing from this end over here. Some of them are actually plugging into this power supply. Others, I'm just kind of using this Raceway just to like double or triple stuff those cables in there, and that way they're staying up. These two devices are each for my Govee lights behind each of my monitors, and those are just held up with some of that double-sided command photo hanging strips, kind of those things. It's not really holding as well as my Scotch double-sided tape, definitely say that, but it is working for now. I'll probably replace it later. Anyway, over here I have these two cables, and thankfully I actually have my outlet that was flipped upside down, which works out perfectly so that the power cords actually go up. Usual way up, these would be coming down, and then I'd have to pull them up. So I'm actually kind of glad it's oriented like this, because then they just go whoop, right up. Another example, so here, this is my second monitor. Yep, these are the mounts for my second monitor. And as you can see, I kind of just wrapped this long power cord around the leg here, and then kind of through between here like multiple times. Just to hold it up, you know, you kind of got to do what you got to do to hold up those cables. Like I said, it is a complete mess. It is organized chaos. But for the most part, it works. Let's see. All right, how low do we got to go to see any cables? I mean, besides those two, we're just not going to count. All right, so going down. I am pop lock and dropping it right now, and that's when you can actually see the cables. So, I mean, yeah, you know what? It's a mess, but you know what? Cables managed. All right, so one of the last orders of business is actually wiring up the TV. I don't know why I didn't do it before. I guess I just didn't. Anyway, as of this point, the cord's just hanging down, and I don't want that. It looks janky. And what I'm gonna do is the same thing I did last time I had this build. I have these Cable Raceways. These are the Raceways that the devil tape came from. I'm not using the devil tape because the devil tape is gonna destroy that freaking drywall. Not doing it. So instead, I got these command picture paint hooks, basically, you know, these things, just stick them together. They hold a lot, and they're gonna do a much better job. All right, so each side is gonna be getting two. Oh God! Not the adhesive side down. It's okay, I only picked up a couple hairs from the dog. It'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Oh, son of a crap. Okay, I aired. Let's put these on the wrong frickin' part. Okay. One side is the slide cover, and the other is the actual base. This is what I want to be adhering to, not this. Let's see if I can... Please hold. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, it'll be fine, I think. Alright, we are ready to mount once I take, like, this side off. Alright, I've also got this corner piece that you just slide on there, and the other piece you're going to be sliding in down here, nice and easy. There we go. Raceways. Alright, now at this point, I've got the covers slid off. That way we can insert the stool. That way we can insert the cable. Slide that on. That's slid in. Boom. There you go. So that's how I built my best gaming setup yet. Took a lot of time, a lot of double-sided tape, plenty of swears, and a buttload of determination to get through it, but it was so worth it. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.